Welcome to Conversations for Course Creators. My name is Lucas Marino of marinotraining.com, and I am your host for this show. Now, this is day 5 of a week of continuous daily podcasts. And this was a little bit of a kickoff event that I built into the launch for the new show. And I thought by day 5, I'd be kind of maybe not looking so forward to doing an episode. But I'll tell you, my motivation has grown, right? It's peaked. And part of this was a personal challenge for me because I've never done a daily podcast or a daily newsletter. I just don't do daily events like that. That's part of my approach to marketing or my approach to communicating with clients or whatever the case may be. I try to steer away um, from daily distribution of those products because I think it's really hard to live up to that over a period of time. So I promised myself when I kicked the show off that I do an episode a day for the first week and kind of make that the point of um, celebration for the week, right? So a little bit of a personal challenge. Now, the week started out really well. We started with a conversation on confidence, which is a huge issue for entrepreneurs in any industry. And it's very challenging for content creators, especially those in a busy space, right? So course creators, coaches, different types of consultants, um, writers, authors. There's a lot of people doing what you do in those spaces. And because of that, you have a greater susceptibility to waves of confidence waning and strengthening. And so I thought it was really important to kick the week off with something that kind of resonates with all of us. And that was the discussion on confidence. Then we moved into some of the more business related aspects of being a person who creates and delivers courses for learners as a business, right? This isn't as a professor at a university like I do part-time, or even someone that works within a public education environment. This is about people that have to create content and then use that content to generate revenue for a business. So social media becomes immediately critical, right? To do this these days without social media is kind of putting you at a severe disadvantage. So we talked about the importance of social media and ways you can leverage certain aspects and certain elements and certain types of social media for your training business. Then we moved on to talking about webinars and summits. And I'm a big fan of both. Big fan of using webinars to generate interest, provide a lot of value to your prospective audience, see if it's a good fit. They're learning a little bit more about you, they're interacting with you, you're learning more about them. And if things work well and you can make a good offer, then they're more likely to gravitate toward one of your products. And then of course the virtual summit, which aggregates a lot of expertise in one package, has tremendous shelf life, has the ability to deliver a ton of content in a single package, right? Like one summit could have 15, 20 speakers from different industries, different backgrounds, whatever, talking about a similar topic. And then it's all packaged and either sold as a pre-recorded summit that's released on a drip schedule, or as a live summit where people are attending live, interacting live with the clients. And then, of course, there's hybrid models that I talked about where you have some segments that are pre-recorded and others that are live. So that was the discussion on webinars and summits. Then I wanted to move more toward mediums with which we would use in course creation and how to apply those to some of our marketing strategies. And I cracked open the discussion on video, right? Leveraging video to interact with your clients in both the marketing and sales aspect of your business and also in the course delivery aspect of your business. And so we talked about live streams, we talked about the appropriate and multiple uses of video for different types of curriculum blocks and approaches, timing of those videos, whether those videos should have certain considerations for your audience. And then, of course, in the live streaming, it's one of our quasi social media / entertainment approaches to sharing content and getting the word out and keeping people engaged in your business. So that's been the week thus far. And tonight we're going to talk about something that is really cool, at least in my eyes. And it's extremely powerful. Yet some people never plan this and they never like write it down and take a look at it and put themselves in the shoes of a learner and then think about it logically from a business perspective. And that is the topic of product ladders. Product ladders are very important. They don't get as much attention as all these other things you see pitching around these days, sales funnels and marketing funnels and funnels and whatever, all this stuff, right? I used to look at this as a product funnel. Is a ladder is a tiered of products to your clients so that you give them a variation of product types which they can function, right? So they walk into your system, you've got this product ladder set up, and they can choose the appropriate step on that ladder for their current situation. So it might be financially driven, it might just be competence and familiarity driven, where they're just not like they're just a starter in your world, and so they need to kind of start small and then work their way up. Or it could be that someone comes in and they've been doing something for a while but they need more, right? So they can step into your product ladder in different areas. So let's talk at the basics real quick. So when you think of a product ladder, think of that ladder standing up against the wall, and each of the steps gets higher and higher, right, as you go up the ladder. And the bottom step could be free content and engaging content, or it could just be low priced content and engaging content, but it's easy to mass produce or it's easy to share. People automatically start thinking, oh, yeah, I've heard that about books, right? And a lot of my clients are authors. Now they're going to scoff and say, dude, there was nothing easy or cheap about publishing that book. Right? Well, I'm here to tell you it's not about the process of writing and publishing the book. It's about the process of sharing that book with your learners now, right? With your audience. So you have to let go of the path that it took to get to the book when you consider the ladder, right? Because there's a ton of work that goes into producing that book. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about where to meet your clients. So your clients might find you through this 10, 15, $25 book, whatever, maybe even a $50 book. They find you through this book. This is how I found one of my dear mentors and good friends, Honoree Corder. And I found her through her book. Now, the book was like a gateway to the rest of her product line. It was easily obtained. I could buy it like in seconds off the line, right? Off the internet. And I could get it in different types of formats. And it was a quick return, right? I could give money and I got value back right away. And for her, it's a fantastic sale because she could have had that book sold while she was sleeping, right? Could be passive income. So it's a nice starting point when you have something like that. And we tend to get like kind of thinking, oh, okay, well, I don't have a book. So do I have a product ladder? Well, your first rung of your ladder could be downloadable PDFs or webinars or free previews of a course. It could be whatever is kind of like the gateway to your product line that is either free or low in price and is very easily accessible and is attractive and provides value. It's a product, right? So they will want to acquire that product so they can gain some value, some solution or some sense of value from that product. So you have to immediately just think of it that way. Now, the downloadable PDFs is like, I mean, everyone and their cousins got downloadable PDFs, and that could be the first step on your ladder. But normally those PDFs are embedded in some other first step on a ladder, like the webinar or a free course or a free preview of a course or something like that. Oftentimes when you're doing something for free in your product ladder, even though you're not charging money to the client or customer or potential customer, you're going to want to exchange something for that free service. Normally that's contact information first and last name and an email address, right? And permission to engage you in an email distribution or some other type of communication. And so there is a trade-off there if you're thinking about this from growing your list of people to communicate with, growing your list of potential clients that you have visibility of. Like I have a tremendous list of, well, I don't want to call it tremendous because compared to some of the other people I know, it's nothing. But I've got hundreds of people that have signed up for free previews of courses or webinars or some other means, and they've never spent a dollar on a product of mine. And that's not a problem for me because at least I know who's interested. And I have some data here to see where they are and what types of industries they work in, because I can tell by their email, right? Sometimes it's a corporate address. A lot of times in my world of work, in the engine and asset management side of the house, there is a work account associated with it. So I can tell what types of people are engaging in my free content. And then I can also reach out to these people and just have conversations with them, because not every conversation over email should be about sales. Okay. I'm pointing to you, people that only sell or send marketing emails. I've been guilty of sending emails that just say, "Hey, how's it going? I was just checking in on you to see how things are going. You had a free preview and I haven't been able to talk to you. So I'm just checking in. How are you liking the free preview so far?" Right? Just something simple like that. It shows that you care. It shows that you're engaged. You can automate that or you can not automate that. It's up to you. But it's something that is a touch point. And all of those clients can go right into your CRM, your customer relationship management software. And that is fantastic because you can categorize them. Oh, this person came in because they were interested in this downloadable PDF, or this one came into the CRM because they attended this free webinar, or this one came into this because into the system because they completed a free course, right? So, but now I've got them tagged by interests and type, where they were introduced to our products and why they came there, because I know why I created that webinar and how we talked about it before we went live. So I know what attracted them to, at least I have a good idea about what attracted them to that offer. So once we move past the first step of the ladder, we move more towards smaller packaged items. This could be a mini course or it could be a comprehensive course that's not extremely expensive, right? So if you go from first ladder step to $3,000 course, well, there's not the distance between those rungs on the ladder is pretty wide, right? So there is no golden rule about like how far away these steps on the ladder should be from each other, but I try to think about it logically. I put myself in the shoes of my clients. If I'm this person working in this world, living this life, doing this thing, my ICA, my ideal client avatar, then I can put myself in their position and think about this from their point of view. If I was just introduced to you in a webinar, what's the likelihood that especially if I don't know who you are and I've only spent an hour with you on the line, that I'm going to buy anything from you for $2,000-$3,000, right? Now, there are going to be people out there. I say never because people will prove you wrong every day of the week. There are people that do that buy, mid to high dollar products from people that they just had an hour's worth of exposure to. But I come from the world of engineering and everyone's hypercritical. So that's not something that normally happens unless this is like the only path to a professional certification. And even though I don't know you, I know other people that just rave about you and you're it, right? So in that case, you might have that kind of power as a business, but that is not normal. That is the exception to the rule. So the next rung on the ladder should be close enough for them to reach for, right? And so if I went from free, I'm going to go to a lower priced product in my product line, and it could be a mini course. It could be a segment of a bigger program that I've broken out and created into a mini course, and I've sold at a fraction of the price, right? Could be the foundational information for a topic to really get them deeper into it, and it's an exchange of some more information and some deeper customized information for a fee. And now they're investing, right? And they're getting more comfortable and they're getting exposure to you. So if you take into account all the stuff I talked about in the video lessons, they're starting to establish an expectation of you, and they're starting to establish an internal dialogue about you and your products and your authority. And they're starting to develop a certain level of comfort with you without even interacting with you in many cases, outside of the digital product you've produced for them. But by the way, this is one of the reasons why hybrid programs are so great, because you infuse yourself into a live interaction with people, and that really ratchets up that trust factor. So the the big takeaway here is that the steps should be close enough that the client can reach for them. That comes with an increase normally in price and in value. So again, every step of the ladder produces more value, perceived value, than maybe the sticker price, right? And so you're putting a lot out there and you're getting something healthy in return, and everyone leaves feeling happy about it. So we could go from book to free webinar to mini course to course, right? Big full course, to group coaching product after the course. And after the group coaching, you could have, or an accountability program, something like that. You could have one-on-one coaching for a higher dollar because it's tailored and it's one-on-one. And then finally, you could have something like a really big ticket item, like a mastermind group that lasts for a set period of time, is very personal, has a select number of people in it with a select type of approach. And these people pay to be in that group because it's private and it's kind of the top tier in your product line. So that's one way that could work for coaches and consultants. For straight up trainers, like straight up just training businesses, people that they make their money developing and delivering courses to people, you could do something like a webinar where you get people interested in your topic, or those virtual summits. I prefer to go webinar than virtual summit because you can use webinars to market virtual summits. Then you can produce, in parallel with those, at the same level of the ladder, you could have free course previews, which are segments of your published courses that you offer for free so that people can get a taste of the experience of your course before they invest, to kind of entice them to want to invest in the full course. And then from a free preview, you could go on to a mini course. From the mini course, you could go to the full course. Next ladder up, or next step up on the ladder, would be a bundle of courses. Maybe you have a full course in this one area, a full course in this other area of specialty, and another full course in this other element. And all three of those are attractive to the same client, right? But they're just individual courses on purpose, and they're full value courses. They're not minis. They're not a partial product. They're a fully developed and delivered product. You could bundle those and provide a discount to your customers. So if you end up with people who, I like to joke around, when I'm a fan of somebody's work like that, I like to tell them that I stalk them, right? Like I'm like, hey, I was one of your stalkers, and we all laugh. I bought this one course, then I bought this next course, then I realized I'm going to end up buying all your courses, so I just bought your bundle, right? And in some instances, I've actually reached out to someone and said, hey, I already bought course 1 and 2 and you have 4 in your product line. Is there a way that I can get the bundle price, like, and get the other 2 classes? But if I do that now, I'm going to spend a ton. Normally they're like, yeah, no, absolutely. Let me take care of you, because they like that you are invested in all of their products. And they like that you are appreciating what they've created, because you like when people appreciate what you create. Think about that from your own perspective. Your client wants to feel that way and you want to feel that way. So that should be the point. And so we could go from those bundles of courses up to the high ticket offer, right? Like the one-on-one instruction, coaching, mentorship type programs, or masterminds, or whatever the case may be. So anyways, product ladder, very powerful for giving your clients options. It gives scalability in price. It provides different types of products to your clients so they can be selective in what they want to embark on, when they want to embark on it. I know course creators that have mid-tier and high-tier products that last 3 months. $900, 3 months, come into this program and we meet every week. And in the end, you can determine whether you want to hire me to do this service for you, or for you to go into the next level of education in this same topic, so that you can invest a fragment up front and really get familiar before you go, you know what, I'm actually going to do this. Boom. Now you go for the next phase. So you can break up those big products into those mid-tier products to kind of achieve that end. And then, of course, if you have a high ticket item on the backside, like a done for you service, or a higher ticket mastermind, or some type of group like that, people are handpicked, that kind of thing, then that could be the final rungs on your ladder. So in my world, often what it comes down to is people come to me looking for tiers of service. Okay. Hey, can I get you for a couple of hours of work? Uh, I'm selective about which clients I work on an hourly basis with, and I'm selective in the rate that I give based on how difficult I think that project's going to be and what your communication skills are and what the scope looks like. So let's meet up, right? Free call. And I end up meeting with them and making a determination about the scope and whether this project is something that I'm going to be passionate about, and I can give them my best, and then we can go there. So that's like an hourly rate, right? That's obviously cheaper in a single purchase than my next tier of products. So you could literally hire me for 1 hour and say, hey, I just want to pick your brain for an hour, dude. I don't need you to do anything for me. I don't want to hire anyone to do anything for me. I want to do it myself, but I need some guidance. Can I call you, once a week for some hourly consultation? Yes. Okay, great. There we go. Right. So that's the first tier. The second tier for me are mini courses, right? So courses that are segments of a larger program, or they're just a course that's not long enough and deep enough in material to justify a higher cost, right? That's good, right? Okay, great. Yeah, $39 course, that's appropriate. Let's do it. So that's next on the tier. And then up from that are my higher priced courses, like my Make Your Online Training Business Awesome course, which is like cradle to grave course development, business development, everything in your online training business. That's obviously a higher ticket price than my $39 course on how to use this one training software, right? And then on top of that, I have done for you services and one-on-one direct support for building your business strategies, your courses, your Thinkific learning management system, all of that stuff, right? So that you see how we've got tiers, and no matter if they call me and I say, hey, look, I've got these services I can offer you, or I've got these packages or programs I can offer you. If that isn't appropriate for you, if this isn't where you want to be right now, or if this just doesn't work for you in other ways, whether it be time or finances or whatever, here are some options I can offer you. So the product ladder gives me the ability to be flexible and not have to just say, no, we can't work together, right? I can still help someone. And it might not be ideal for me, and it might not be the perfect fit for them to do it in that way, because I would just love to work one-on-one with everybody, but it might be the best solution for now. And so it helps for me to have that flexibility in my business model as well. Now, let's talk about some of the ways people leverage this stuff to make certain types of sales happen, right? And I'm not one of the types that engages in this particular business model, but it is something that is very effective, and it just is, right? So I've worked with people before who have very small numbers of products. Like, I do this, and this is what I do, and I have one or two other levels of the ladder, and that's it, right? So when I go to talk to them about their big ticket item, and you get hit with the time investment and the cost, you go, whoa, that's probably a little bit outside of my league right now. I mean, I would love to do that, but I don't have the time to invest in that. And I sure as heck don't have the budget sitting around for that right now. So what else do you have? And they're like, oh, well, I've got these great programs that are meet you in the middle kind of deal. Yeah, I'm almost always going to say yes to that, because it gets me close enough to the end goal, and I'll take on some of that work and risk to get where I want to be. Let's say it's writing a book or launching a course, right? So I would pay to learn from a master before I paid the master to do the work for me, right? So it's a wise investment for an investor in something that's a high dollar item to start smaller, because I might find that this is not going to be the person I'm willing to invest all this money with. I'm glad I did the course or the 3-month program or whatever it is, and I learned a lot more about the topic, the world of work, how to do things, the tools available to me, all the stuff that comes along with learning about course development or learning about virtual summits or learning about writing books or whatever, any of this content creation, right? If I can immerse myself in the topic some more, I make better decisions about how to go all in to get to my final product. So I like to use other people's ladders as a way to step into the water 1 foot at a time. And as the water comes up, I can gauge whether I'm in the right place or not, right? Whether I'm in water that I feel comfortable in. So I might invest in a mid-tier product. And then at the end, if I'm sold on hiring that person to do it for me, I have zero doubts. None. I've already spent time and money invested in learning more about how they work, how I work with them, what the products look like, what the development cycle is, how much work is really involved in all this. And I can make a more educated decision about whether to pay for that person to help me create whatever that product is, right? So I'll give you an example. I mentioned my friend Ray Brem, the virtual summit guru. I believe it was 2 episodes ago. And with Ray, I had no doubt about the quality of the work he did because I had been involved as an attendee in several of the virtual summits he had produced, and they were all very top notch and great quality and excellent speakers, and all of the copy was great. And I said, wow, this guy really knows what he's doing. But at the same time, I wasn't sure what it actually takes to launch a summit. And I didn't have the money laying around that year and that budget for my work to divert from another project that I had funded and put it into launching a virtual summit. So I talked to Ray and said, hey, do you have a course or a training program on this? And he said, oh yeah, no, absolutely. Let's get you enrolled and then get you smarter on all this stuff, and you can decide whether this is something you want to do by yourself or you still want to partner up. And I said, okay. And I was halfway through that program when I said, oh, I'm definitely investing in partnering with him, right? Because it was just the logical thing to do. I wasn't getting any less busy in my work. I was getting busier. So in the short period of time we were working together on this virtual summit, my business became 3 times busier. And so by the time I finished that program, I was like, I don't have time to do this on my own, even if I wanted to. And it's like, here, take my money. Like, let's get this done. And I'm probably going to do multiples of these. And I definitely want to partner with you. And the reason why I say that is because it's a good example of that in my own life. I like to practice what you preach, right? I don't want you to, I'm going to be the person telling you, oh, you should consider these things and you can do these things, and then turn around and not do any of that. No, no, no. Everything I'm telling you tonight are things I do, whether as a person providing these services to someone else or as a person in someone else's product ladder. And so these are the steps of the ladder that I appreciate as a customer and client, and that I also like to offer as a business owner in a training world, right? So that's the big topic for tonight: product ladders. You can wow all your friends at dinner about the topic of product ladders now. So, okay, what do we have coming up tomorrow? So tomorrow, which will be episode 6, we have a special guest, and it will be recorded live via live stream, and it will go out live over my LinkedIn page, my Merino Training YouTube channel, and it'll also be on my Merino Training website, which is www.merinotraining.com. So if you want to watch it there, 2:00 Eastern time here in the United States, Friday, May 20th, and it'll be a live stream. And I've got a special guest, my friend, Mr. Robert Anderson. He is an author. He is a virtual summit host, and he is an amazing guy to talk to. And the cool thing about Robert is not only does he have a really cool story and an interesting life, but he is hosting a summit that is all about people overcoming extreme opposition in their life, right? Overcoming some really serious stuff. Some people that just are doing amazing things despite all of their circumstances or choices that they've made in their life, and it's just very motivational, and it's very interesting to hear the stories and kind of gauge the wisdom that's come out of this experience that Robert's been on, where he's been interviewing all of these amazing people, and he's been writing these great books, and he's been doing all this good stuff. So I am excited to have Robert on to talk about his work and what he's learned working with those types of speakers and clients. So tune in tomorrow, May 20th, Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You can check me out on LinkedIn. You can check it out on YouTube, or you can check it out on www.marinotraining.com. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe out there.